Welcome back, everybody. Episode 131 of this nonsense. How did we get here? How is it possible for that many episodes to exist of any series? I don't have the answers. I don't know. I just keep hitting go live, and you fools keep showing up and guilt tripping me into doing this every week. I'm kidding, all right? I can't experience guilt. I'm a psychopath, all right? But no, seriously, I'm glad that you guys are here. Yeah, we fools. Mehelmut is that? Yeah, Helme, a fool of a tuck. But yeah, good to see you guys all in chat already, having your Finnish conversations. I can see it's about temperature, about it being maybe a bit cooler, viileämpää. But then there's other stuff I don't understand. Yeah, it definitely was a bit cooler today, but it's still unbearable. I say that, but of all things, it's not that bad. It's, yeah, of all things that bother me in life, this surprisingly isn't that bad. But also there's a part of me that wonders, is this what it's like if you live in parts of like India or I don't know, the Southeast Asia? I know it's like really hot and humid. And like, you just grow up with it. Like, I can't imagine that feeling of just being sticky all day. I was born in Colorado in the mountains, in the dry, crisp, pristine mountain air. Okay, that's my home. I can't. But then we did live. It's funny because when I was like 5 years old, we moved from Colorado to Mississippi, which is on the Gulf Coast. And we lived directly on the Gulf Coast. And it was, it was a totally different world that I entered into, especially at such a young age where you play outside quite a lot and you're exploring nature. And I went from the just beautiful mountain nature where even like the insects in Colorado are really beautiful. Like they're like these iridescent, flies and other creatures. And then you go to Mississippi and it's just like mosquitoes and, frogs and alligators. And for real, we had lots of alligators in our neighborhood. We had to be careful, among other things. Though I wasn't miserable in Mississippi. I remember having a lot of fun as a kid. I guess when you're that young, you're just so adaptable. I do distinctly remember the frog breeding season. Because I've never seen anything like this, and I wonder if my memory, there's some what is it, like my memory has been enhanced by the years. Like maybe it didn't actually happen this way because it sounds so ridiculous. But when you would walk outside in the grass, there was a certain time of year where the frogs would all turn from tadpoles into little tiny frogs with legs, and you would walk into the grass and frogs would just leap out of your way, like it was a biblical plague of frogs. And it was awesome. As a little boy, that is just like we would get a bucket and try to catch as many of these little frogs in a bucket or something, and then release them. I think that was also when I had my first pet. We caught a big toad in the backyard. Maybe not like a huge, big one, but much bigger than just those little baby frogs. And I kept it for a few days in a little plastic terrarium, the really basic little plastic ones that I don't know. And we fed him or her a mosquito hawk. It's a type of insect that looks like a giant mosquito. And I think it also maybe eats mosquitoes, which is why it's called a mosquito hawk. I don't know, but it doesn't bite you. So but they're really scary because they'll get into your home and they'll fly around on the floor, and they're pretty big. So it's like, I don't know, they can surprise you, but they don't bite you, or I don't think they even can bite a human. But yeah, we fed one of those to the frog, and I remember he or she sat on it. It was weird. Like, the frog did not eat the insect immediately. The frog sat on it and saved it for later. It was weird. Also, I do remember what we named the frog. It was we named it Jessie, because in my mind at that age, we didn't know if the frog was a boy or a girl, so we didn't know if we give it a boy or a girl name, and at that time I felt like Jessie was the most neutral name, because I feel like I maybe met some boy and girl Jessies, and so that was my first pet. I mean, we had like a dog, you know, my parents had a dog when I was born, so we had pets, but this was the first one that I had gotten, and it was wild. We had caught it in the backyard, you know. So yeah. Yes. Yeah, this is not, yeah, JS, this is a good point. This is not nearly as hot and humid as Southeast Asia. Like, that's the thing. I'm like, man, I feel like this is bad. But imagine all the people who do live without air conditioning in climates that are way hotter and more humid. Wow, I don't know. Sometimes walking the forest is like that for you, Lorelei. I've never seen that many frogs here in Finland. I've seen a few, but not that many. But yeah. There you go. There's Tyler's story time. Welcome to the stream. Let's hop into the Selko Uutiset and work our way through it sentence by sentence. All right. Like, I don't know what I would do without my fan behind me blowing directly onto my back. It's saving my life right now. Hamas halutaan pois vallasta. Hamas wants... What? Or is wanted. Something... Hamas is wanted away from whatever this is. I don't know what the valla is. Hamas is wanted out of power. Okay, there we go. Hamas is wanted out of power. Valta. Thank you, Lorelai. I was about to look this up on Wiktionary because I was like, what is the actual word? Valta, meaning power. There's another word related to it, like valtio. That means like the state or government or something. Yeah, I think it means state, valtio. Ensin uutinen palestiinalaisista. I was close, but I mispronounced it. Somewhere in here, I messed up. Palestiinalaisista. Lähi-idässä. First, the news about Palestine in the Near East, right? The Middle East. Yeah, valta, power. Valtava, massive power. Oh, it's about Palestinians. Yeah. The news about Palestinians in the Middle East. Thank you. I mean, I got the sense, but I was a little off. Palestiinalaisten pääministeri vaatii, että äärijärjestö Hamas luopu vallasta Gazassa. Or you guys were telling me the Z is just pronounced like an S? Gazassa, right? But if the Z is an S, why is it even a Z in the word? I thought you Finnish people pronounce things the way it's written. Huh? You know? But anyways, the Palestinian Prime Minister reported, I don't know, vati, past tense of some verb, I think, did something that some leader, I don't, Ari, does this mean like a speaker? Like a spokesperson? Hamas ends from power in Gaza. So you would pronounce it gatsasa. Okay. Like pizza. Gatsasa. Gatsasa. Yeah. And JS, you're saying it depends if you say it in Finnish or in the original language. Oh, so like in Hebrew, they have another way of pronouncing it? Yeah, I don't know. You say it with a soft Z. Gasasa would be weird, Lorelei. Okay. But I feel like I remember last week we saw this, and you guys in chat were spelling it with an S. And I guess I misinterpreted or misread. So that's why I was confused. Kasasa in a pile. Gatsasa. But okay, let's see how I messed up this sentence. The Palestinian Prime Minister demands that the extremist organization Hamas relinquish power in Gaza. Wow, I was close, but also not close. So this Yariyesta is an organization. Excusez-moi. And Yariyesta means extremist organization. Hamas demands that they release. That's a good use of the English subjunctive, by the way. Wait, did Google use the subjunctive? Yes. Yeah. But you know what? This isn't English grammar time, okay? I feel like I've talked about the English subjunctive already. Like, annoyingly. Look, all right. That's like the one thing I remember about English grammar from years of teaching it. But yeah, that the extremist organization Luopu, I was translating it more like Lopu, right? To end, but Luopu means to relinquish, like to give up. To relinquish vallasta. So yeah, so here it's like Hamas is wanted out of power, right? Out of power. And it's the same form that's being used here, but in this case, it's more like the object of Luopu, that it will give up power in Gaza. Yeah, Luopua jostakin. Luopu. Okay. Well, there we go. I mean, I kind of got it, but I also didn't. You know what I mean? I was like the Speaker of the House. What? I don't know. pääministeri Mohammad Mustafa sanoi, että Hamas järjestön pitää luopua aseista. Prime Minister Mohammad Mustafa says that the Hamas organization needs or should relinquish stuff. Is this, I'm thinking Asia, right? Asia is a thing. Aseista is things. Like, that's just the plural. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it means something else. Oh, arms. Ase. Oh, ase is a weapon. Ase. That's interesting. Okay. But yeah, Prime Minister Mohammad Mustafa says that Hamas must lay down its arms, right? But we're using the same word, luopu, luopua. What was I was gonna look up Asia in Finnish. Oh, it's right here. Yeah, this is the word I was thinking of. I want to see, is there an aseista version or no? No, it looks like, for example, this. The elative form would be in the singular asiasta and asioista. Okay. I see how it is. I see. But yeah, by the way, I didn't actually call. I usually say hi to all of you guys in chat by name, and I totally forgot. My brain is fried from the heat. But yeah, Poyu, Lorelai, 27, JS, Poyu. Wait, did I already say? I already said Poyu. Yeah, you were the first in chat, I think. And Anni, Akachawiya. I keep Akachawiya. You used to have a screen name that was Anni, right? And that's why I'm saying that? Or am I mixing you up with somebody else? That would be kind of funny if I just kept calling you that and you were like really confused. But yeah, thumbs up for Tyler, thumbs down for all cruel, selfish people whose only goal is to hurt others. Well, I mean, by that comparison, I guess I look pretty great. Yeah, you know what? That's what I need. I need people, I don't know, to compare me to yeah. What's that? There's got to be some expression for this. But I had an experience kind of, well, not along like these more extreme lines, but I once had a job where I took the role, this was like when I was in university, and the previous student who had the job, he wasn't that good at the job. He wasn't like, what is the word? He wasn't like negligent or like bad, but he just struggled with the job. Whereas like a lot of the job came more naturally to me. And I wouldn't say I was great at the job, but people thought I was great at it because they remembered the previous dude who had my job. And they were like, oh, thank God we have someone. And I was like, oh my God, I've never felt so good being so mediocre, you know? That's the key to life. Become a big fish in a small pond, okay? Just never leave the small pond. That is doom, okay? You might think you're competitive and you'll want that. No, don't do it. The goal isn't to be the biggest fish. It's to find the right size pond. You can take that to the bank. What an annoyingly meek attempt at thunder. Just one lightning and lame rumble, JS. The weather forecast is just so insane right now. It's like I'm looking at it and it's like, oh yeah, we got rain today, tomorrow, all the way through Saturday. And then all next week as well. I think Sunday is the only day on my schedule that doesn't have rain. But it doesn't rain. There's no rain. Or if we do, it is like the tiniest little drizzle. It's like it's gaslighting me. It's like, oh, Wednesday is going to be thunderstorms. But then I click on it and I look at it and I change to precipitation. And the chance of rain, there's literally 1 millimeter total for the whole day. Why are you telling me there are thunderstorms? There's 1 millimeter possible at midnight. That's it. On Wednesday, hey, go outside, get your tongue out in the air, catch that one little raindrop that's falling. But be careful, there also might be lightning and you might get struck, okay? So how can they tell me that there's 1 millimeter of water for the day, but there's also a 35% chance of lightning thunderstorms? Oh, tomorrow and Thursday, it's going to be hot. It's like, it says a high of 28. I'm used to Finland having 2 weeks like this, but we've been going on like 4. Enough is enough. We've been promised thunder or more of last week. Yeah, and the weather forecast beyond a couple of days is more like guesstimating. Well, I mean, I'm talking about the weather tomorrow. Like, they're telling me that there's this chance of rain tomorrow. I'm like, oh, I should be prepared. But then it's like, nah, there's maybe 1 millimeter at midnight. Otherwise, nothing. You did use the name Omni before. But yeah, I totally understand that. I can also call you Akachawea. I might switch to Akachawea just so, in case I do forget. It's a good username, Akachawea. Like Sacagawea. Although I've heard people say Sacagawea. I don't know. Yeah, weather is chaotic, all right. I'm not here to, like complain about the meteorologists. I'm just saying my experience with the weather app is a unhealthy relationship. It is one where I am being constantly gaslit into thinking that maybe it's going to rain and maybe it'll cool off, and then it not happening. Like, if you're going to tell me that there's only 1 millimeter of precipitation for like literally 1 minute of the day, then don't put 35% chance of thunderstorms for the whole day. How does that make any sense? All right. I mean, look, these meteorologists, man, they've look, maybe I'm sure someone much smarter than me can justify the statistical reasoning, behind their prediction, but I'm just saying it doesn't match my emotional experience using the weather app in this moment. And yeah, that's true. Do you remember that June was unusually cold? That is true. And that was so wonderful. June was so great. It was like nice and cool. Man. Don't complain, we'll have Christmas weather in a few months. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's hard for me to even remember what snow looked like. Like, it's hard for me to even imagine. I don't have like a, what's that? There's different types of memories where some people can't even imagine stuff. Like, I have a visual memory, but it's like when it's this time of year, it's been long enough that, and I'm so used to seeing trees and green outside and being in the heat that like it's hard for me to believe that the trees ever existed without leaves and that everything would be covered with snow. I don't know. I think it's probably just a me thing. Hey, it doesn't always rain when there's thunder. It's a new record. Hey, Yuha, welcome in. How are you? Good to see you. It is a hot day. It is. No, I saw the news about the shooting in New York, but I haven't read much about it. I try not to click too much on depressing news, you know. Like, I don't know. You want to look at the unhealthy relationships we have with our devices and with information. Though, no, it's really funny actually for me. Now, I am not the kind of person who, what's the word? Like, is an internet sleuth who, like, consuming true crime podcasts or media. I don't do any of that really. Maybe occasionally I'll watch a few YouTube videos that are of like murder mysteries or something like that, you know? But it's not like a genre I typically explore. However, I will say there is one case that I got totally sucked into for over the past few years, and I keep revisiting it. And there's been a major development in the case. And it was like a husband allegedly murdered his wife. And it's insane. It's the Suzanne Morphew murder case. And it's like they found, it was like they suspected the husband had done it and that he had because he had tranquilizer darts, which are like highly regulated in America. This was in America, in Colorado, by the way. And they suspected that he had chased her around their home property and shot her with a tranquilizer dart, and then, you know, had moved her body or whatever. But they couldn't find the body, and they indicted him. It took like a year before they finally arrested him, and the indictment was like over 100 pages, and it's like super incriminating. Like, his behavior is so suspicious, and he was like constantly deleting messages from his phone. Like, he and his wife were having marital problems, you know. And it happened on Mother's Day as well, which was like really messed up. I mean, obviously it's messed up no matter what day it happens, but especially then. And anyways, I followed the case. I know way too much about the details of everything. And the last year they found her body, or they found her bones. They found her bones. They did an autopsy, and they found the tranquilizer compounds in the bone marrows. And then it took even longer for them to, like, I guess, fully develop the case. And it wasn't until a month or so ago that they finally arrested Barry Morphew, the husband. And it's a crazy case. Go read it. The subreddit is I don't know. I visit the subreddit every so often, and I get sucked back in. You know, I get sucked back into the details, and I'm like, well, how did he do it? You know, what did he do with her body? And the crazy thing is, the location where they found the bones. Okay, I'm going to end this tangent. I realize I'm rambling, but the location where they actually found her bones, the autopsy concluded that she didn't actually die or she wasn't initially buried there. Hold on. So of course there's people on the subreddit speculating about what happened, and they're like, oh, what did he do with her body initially? There's some crazy theories out there, but yeah, Good. If you want to go down a true crime rabbit hole, he's currently in jail. He's been indicted, and I don't know if they've scheduled the trial, but I'm looking forward to it. And so the problem is they initially indicted him, but the original, like, what is it? The attorney, what is the word for this? Not the attorney general, the district attorney. She did such a bad job that the case was dismissed without prejudice because they had filed things so poorly that essentially he got off for free. They had to dismiss the case, and he went free for years. And so he was living his life. He left Colorado. He got a ton of money because of the insurance. It's so messed up. There's because they had daughters as well, and the daughters, they believe that their dad is innocent, which is also really sad because it's he's so guilty. He's so insanely guilty, and they're yeah. But the daughters, I think, inherited whatever money, because their mom had inherited a lot of money or something like this. And anyways, I think it's a really messed up situation. But if you want to go down that rabbit hole, I'll leave you guys to it. Yeah. Oh yeah, Tyler talks about a murder case and is called off camera. I'm scared. Sorry, I just had to go blow my nose really quickly. Yeah, this Finnish learning lesson is getting quite gruesome. Yeah, we're going to be exploring how to talk about murder in the Finnish language. No. I mean, we learn a lot about it in the news. I know I've learned the word to murder or to kill. Hold on, actually, I have this. Let me search here if I have it in my... Wait, where is it? Yeah, murha. And yes, it was this guy. Right? Was this the guy that killed the hockey player that he had a relationship with or something like this? Yeah. Janne Puhakka was a former ice hockey player. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, wait. This guy is the hockey player. And it was his former boyfriend, Rolf, admits that he killed him. To kill, tappa. Murder, murha. Okay. Let us continue with the news. Palestiinalaisten hallinto toimii länsirannalla. Hamas pitää valtaa Gazassa. Is it Palestinian government or administration? Hallinto. I feel like hallinto means administration. But whatever. Some form of administrative body or something works or operates in is this the West Bank? Länsi is west. Ranta is a beach. Rannalla. A beach or a bank in English. Though bank is kind of a different word. Bank is more the side of a river, not so much like a beach that you would have on the ocean or a sea, right? But ranta, I think, can mean both in Finnish, or at least that seems what it appears to mean. Murha, murhe, two words where only the last letter is different. Wait, what does murhe mean? But yeah, okay, it does mean admin. Where here, Google says authority. The Palestinian Authority operates in the West Bank. Oh, I didn't translate the second sentence, but yeah, Hamas holds power in Gaza. Hamas pita. Yeah, this is actually to hold pita. Because whenever I see pita, I think of it in this context of that it to need, right? Or should. But yeah, in this case, it's like Hamas. Hamas holds power. Volta. Gatsasa. In Gaza. And yeah, I guess I hesitated because at least in English, administration doesn't quite sound right for if like, I don't know, some sort of government or like a larger authority of like administration is more like the university governing body. That's the, you know, it's a, I don't know, more like for an organization has an administration. Or if you're talking about a specific politician and their cabinet of, you know, workers and other associated whatever politicians, you know, like the Obama administration. But I think, yeah, authority probably makes more sense here. I agree with Google. It's murder and worry. The morhe. Well, you might be worrying, you know. they could coincide as concepts, but yeah. Palestiinalaisten pääministeri Mustafa puhui Would I just say YK:n kokouksessa? The Palestinian Prime Minister Mustafa spoke to YK or to YK's or spoke in a meeting with YK. I don't know what YK stands for. Let me translate it. A UN meeting. Ah, okay. In a UN meeting. In the meeting, I guess it is attempted. It is being attempted to build miten Israelin ja palestiinalaisten sota voidaan lopettaa. How Israel and Palestine's war can end. Right? It is being built. It is being constructed. Interestingly, Google Translate puts it all in one sentence. At a UN meeting that is trying to resolve how to end the Israeli-Palestinian war. That is trying to resolve. Maybe my translation of constructed is not good. Because I'm thinking of like rakenta, right? A true tongue twister. Oh yeah, you guys were saying what? Hiekkaranta, if you want to specify beach as sandy beach for recreation or such. Yhdistyneet kuningaskunnat. UK. Wait, that's YK. The United Nations. Or is that the United Kingdom? That's the United Kingdom. Oh my gosh, wait, that is the UK. UK means United Kingdom. But wait, does YK mean the UK? Because that would be the abbreviation, right? Why does it say the UN? I mean, it seems to make more sense that it would be a UN meeting, right? Why would they have a UK meeting about it? I mean, I guess they could, but why would that be, you know? Normally these sorts of things are like international. But anyway, so I assume YK means UK or UN. Because yeah, Yhdistyneet is united. But what does the K stand for? Calvin Klein? Okay. One nation under Calvin Klein. Super fashionable. With liberty and caprice for all. Man, it's been a long time since I've pledged allegiance to the American flag. I haven't been to an American sports event in a long time. It's so weird. I mean, it's obviously weird that we did that, and that we still do that in America. But that, like, as a kid, there's so many things that you experience that just stop once you become an adult. Like pledging allegiance to a flag. I guess if you're like in the military or something, you would keep doing it on a regular basis, maybe. But like, it's weird that every day we would be like, it was just, and as a kid, what does it even mean to you as a kid to pledge allegiance to a nation? Like, it's like it seems like some dystopian thing to get children to do. Like, we're just playing and learning in school, you know? And here we are, we all stand up, we put our hand over our heart, and we recite the pledge. And in the schools I went to, we didn't pledge only to the American flag. We also pledged to the Christian flag and to the Bible. We said the Pledge of Allegiance to the Bible. I pledge allegiance to the Bible, God's holy word. May it be a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. Something like that. And it goes on and on. I don't remember it. There were so many pledges in Boy Scouts. We had to memorize all of the Scout oath, the Scout law. A Scout is trustworthy. A Scout is trustworthy, clean, brave, and reverent. Something like that. I don't know. There's a bunch that you have to list out. Trustworthy, brave, clean, and reverent. It ends on reverent. I remember that. Trustworthy. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, brave. Something, clean, and reverent. Clearly, I have fallen away. That's why I'm just struggling so much in life. It's that I've lost touch with the virtues and the values of my American upbringing. I don't remember the pledge to the Bible. I don't remember the Scout law. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and country. YK is overloaded abbreviation, as some are. Yeah, indoctrination. The thing about indoctrination is, like, it doesn't really work, right? Like, I went through it, but like, I turned out so different from anything all those adults wanted from me. So it didn't work. What? But hey, I mean, parents are so desperate to inculcate their children. Yeah, honestly, JS, I would love to pledge allegiance to the Kalevala. Except for the fact that I personally feel like the Kalevala is a bit overhyped. First of all, because if you talk to any Finnish people, nobody knows what's in the Kalevala. You know, like, Finnish people have read only bits of the Kalevala growing up. Like, it's not a requirement to read the whole thing. And also, if you try reading the whole thing, it's kind of lame. I'm just gonna look. Okay, I'm not gonna diss it like it's bad, but I go into the Kalevala expecting some really cool stuff to happen, but it is so painfully slow, and it is really just a rhyme, like, verse. Like, I mean, it's just like, how many different types of trees and birds can we name just randomly? It's I don't know. It's not that exciting, and it feels like when a kid tells a really long story out of a short story, and they're just like stumbling over their words, and you're just like, just finish what you're saying, please. That's how I feel when I'm reading parts of the Kalevala. I'm just like, I don't care. I'll speak the truth. I'll say it. We need an updated Kalevala, all right? We need George R.R. Martin to rewrite the Kalevala. In Finnish, we'd say you're eheytynyt. What? Do I think my Texan friends would seriously consider moving to Finland? Maybe. I mean, it would depend on their life situation more than their ideology. But no, I mean, the main problem is just that finding a way to move to a new country is insane. And nowadays, it's like, it's really hard to get like a work permit, you know, and so I wouldn't advise anyone try it. After everything I've been through, and I look back at my life, and I'm like, you know, maybe it wasn't a good decision. I'm on the fence. I'm not saying it was a bad decision, but I don't know. Maybe it was not the best. Hey DV, welcome in. How are you? Yeah. Yeah, it's fiction, a poem collection. I wish it was a bit more epic. I wish like there was just a bit more cool stuff that happens. Like it's just like kind of random and a bit anticlimactic, I guess. Like there's so much singing and just word rhyming, but not in a way that feels like it's like, I don't know. It doesn't feel layered with meaning. It really just feels like word salad. Like, oh, we're just gonna say all the names of every tree now because that's just what we do at this part of the song, you know? And it's like, okay, I guess I can see how it might be fun to hear someone perform it, and it is like a song, and it's not meant to be some like brilliant piece of, you know, rhyme and meter and storytelling. But that's just my impression. But it was one of the stories from the Kalevala that Tolkien credits as having inspired pretty much the whole Silmarillion. That was the was it Kullervo story. And yeah, Vainamoinen was one of the inspirations for Gandalf as well. Yeah. Tyler really be out here dissing the work J.R.R. Tolkien himself took inspiration from? I have my qualms, my quarrels with J.R.R. Tolkien. All right. I do not live under the delusion of Tolkien worship. I've complained about this before on stream, but it annoys me when people almost like have a kind of hero worship of Tolkien. Like, yes, what he did, his books and everything are great, but for some people, the greatness, it's not enough. It's also important that Tolkien never made a mistake about anything in his life, and that if you think he made a mistake, actually, it was a sign of his genius and his brilliance, and you're just not seeing the genius. It's just like, no. I'm sorry, what is it, Occam's razor. Like, the simple answer is probably the correct answer. Like, Tolkien wasn't sitting around just being an absolute brilliant genius all the time, you know? Like, come on. But yeah. But I mean, I'm happy he enjoyed the text. I don't think he was wrong to enjoy it, but I'm reading the Kalevala and I don't feel that same sense of awe and wonder. But he was also reading it at a very different time. And even Tolkien himself was quite critical of the way that the Kalevala was being held up as a national epic. He said like we shouldn't be calling it that. He disagreed with the nationalist element of, I guess, the hype around the Kalevala even in his day, right? Because he was reading it before Finland was even a nation, or he was reading it right before Finland had become independent. But yeah. Who was how about the guy who helped you in the Tipalepa video? Wait, why are you mentioning my friend who held the camera? It was a lot of fun. He was another student in the business program in Washington D.C. when I studied there. Really nice guy, and it was really fun. We made that video together. But wait, I don't even know why you're mentioning how about him. Like, what? Oh, would he like to move to Finland? Well, I don't know, actually. Maybe. But he was an immigrant to the US, actually. He was originally from South Korea. And so he still lives in the US. He chose his pain, his medicine, the way that I have. I've chosen mine. You know, it's like what is it? I don't know what's the expression. I feel like being an immigrant in Finland, there are different types of experiences. In America, it's like, I don't know, being hit by a train, right? Where you don't know when it's going to happen, but then it suddenly happens. In Finland, it's more like death by 1,000 cuts. The paper cuts of Finnish cold, heartless bureaucracy. That's and unfriendliness. Or I don't know if it's being unfriendly. It is unfriendly, but it's not being like mean, I guess. I don't know. It's more like apathy. More like apathy. Yeah, Kalevala isn't Hollywood entertainment. I agree. All right, Hollywood is so much more fun, okay? You get cravings for the Tipalepa. You can't even count how many times stuff repeats for no reason in Lord of the Rings. And yeah, I mean that's also one of I love the books, but there are things in it that I'm like, I mean, like Tom Bombadil, for example. I'm not against Tom Bombadil being in the books. I don't think it detracts from the story. But then there are people, or it feels like people approach it with maybe like the incorrect attitude, where they enter into it as if there's some, like they are Dan Brown. They are Robert Langdon uncovering the mystery that God has placed in the book. And it's just like, Tolkien was just messing around and was writing. And even by his own admission, at that point in the story, he didn't even know what was going to happen. He just knew he needed to get the hobbits to the Prancing Pony and then to Rivendell. And it shows in his writing that when they get to Rivendell, the Council of Elrond is like the longest chapter where Tolkien is trying to explain, not just to you, the reader, but to himself, why the heck he has these hobbits going on this adventure. What's going to happen with the ring. And then from there, the story completely changes tone and pace. It's very different. And Lorelei, am I missing all your messages? Sorry, I must have missed some of them. Yeah, I did. But yeah, I see you said Linrut earlier. Nation building. I'm not intentionally ignoring you. It just happens sometimes. No comments starting from the Yhdistyneet Kansakunnat. Okay, thank you for explaining that. The YK abbreviation, Kansakunnat, that means the nations, United Nations. Okay, it's been over 30 minutes. It has. Look, time is flying by. All right. I'm in a rambly mood today. All right. We're practicing Finnish, but I'd also like to point out I set the rules here. Okay, you might enter into this live stream with preconceived expectations of how much I should complete of my Finnish language studies, but I reject your expectations of me. I am my own person. I set my own goals, all right? The amount of Finnish studying in this stream is like math's limit for 0. Look, it is. I mean, I've read a few sentences, okay? I've learned a few phrases. I am on my way. Okay, wait, did we finish this? I think we still have this last little paragraph. Let's at least do this, and then I will continue with the rambling. Pääministeri sanoo, että Hamasin pitää luopua vallasta Gazassa. So we did have this sentence already, right? Yeah, up here, I think. But yeah, so the prime minister says that Hamas needs to relinquish power in Gaza. Mustafa vaatii myös, että Israel lopettaa hyökkäyksen Gazassa. Mustafa demands also that Israel stop attacking Gaza. Yeah. Okay. There we go. We did it. We're done. We're done. But in my defense, I started this stream feeling so tired. I am the heat really does drain a lot of energy from me. But I am also in the most difficult few weeks of my marathon training plan where I'm running a lot. And so that also takes a lot of energy. And the timing is so bad because it's so difficult to sleep with the heat, and I really need more sleep. So, I mean, I'm sleeping okay when I do fall asleep, but then I still wake up like 6 hours of sleep, which isn't bad, but it's really not ideal given the amount of training I'm doing. So, yeah. It just means I'm like really tired by like 7 or 8 p.m. I'm just like a zombie. But yeah, I don't mean to. I wasn't intentionally ignoring you, Lorelai. Just so you know, I'm looking at chat and scanning and responding only to a few things because my brain wants to prioritize ranting and rambling and storytelling. By the way, on that note, I don't think I'm going to play Tales of the Shire. I don't think I'm going to play it for a couple reasons. One is that I can't really play it. It's not, they didn't release it on Mac. So I don't want to try and run it with using like whiskey or wine or some other, thing. And I don't pay for crossover or any of that stuff, so I don't have access to it on my computer, and I don't want to get it on Switch. Also, I was reading the reviews, and the reviews are pretty harsh. And the reviews actually seem like they try to find what's good in the game. Surprisingly, the cooking and friendship mechanic seems actually to be the most enjoyable part of the game, which from my perspective seemed like kind of lame. I don't know. I was like, that seems to me like not like the worst, not the worst, but the game is so full of bugs and problems. And then The Verge published a whole report where insiders from the development team spoke out about how bad the development process was, how poorly managed and executed it was, how like the leadership really dropped the ball in a lot of ways. They weren't properly resourced. They didn't have people with the right experience or knowledge. And so yeah, it really did sound like it was a bit of a shit show. I mean, to be fair, it's like that for a lot of games. And it doesn't sound like I don't know, like I don't know. It doesn't sound like there was like abuse of power or like anything truly terrible, but it does sound like not a great time for the people that worked on it, especially when you see the game released and it's in such a bad state, and it's like the game is constantly crashing and it's not getting good reviews. That's tough. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna play it, partly because I don't really have access to it, but also if I get it on Switch is terrible for these types of games. I'm sure it also will cost more on the Switch, and I don't know how much it's going to cost. I think they might have just released it actually. It releases this evening. I might check, but I feel like it's one of these games that's going to retail for like over 30 euros probably, and I'm just like, I don't want to pay that much for a game that I'm not going to enjoy. And I gotta be true to myself. I'm a Stardew Valley gamer, okay? That's my calling in life. They said it was to follow Jesus. No, it was to role play as Granny in Stardew Valley. I am a Granny in Stardew Valley, and I'm having the most fun. This challenge it's really pushed me to expand my knowledge of the game and to try completely new strategies for everything. And it's been a lot of fun playing it. And a lot of new people have come to the channel just because, people are seeing me, people who play Stardew Valley are seeing it. And that's been a lot of fun. So I'm going to probably just stick with Stardew Valley and maybe play Tales of the Shire later if it gets updated and maybe people start saying better things about it. But yeah, the heat has softened my brain. It's the freeze thaw cycle of Finnish weather. I think that's it. I think it's oh, the tongue twister thing. I looked for it, but I didn't see it. JS. I missed it. I don't know. Yeah, I do miss a lot of your guys' comments, but you guys give me crap as well for not doing enough Finnish. But then you also give me crap for not reading all the comments. That's like I'm just one dude over here. And also, half of your comments are in a language I can't even understand. God. I feel like I'm in Terraria on hard mode. What? Can we just turn the difficulty down a little bit, please? It was easier for me to beat Moonlord than to keep up with this. But yeah. I should try to ramble in Finnish. Oh yeah. That'll be the day, Juha. But yeah, Juha, you're saying no, Tales of the Shire. Yeah. Yeah. That's just, sometimes how it goes. And yeah, one of the things that one of the insiders had mentioned is that the game is kind of a collection of fun ideas, but there's no like core gameplay that connects it all together. Like in Dave the Diver, you're going into the ocean, you're spear fishing, and you take the fish back up and you sell, you cook, you upgrade your recipes, you cook your recipes and sell them in the sushi shop, and then you use the money to upgrade your gear. It's got a very satisfying loop. You dive deeper and you catch bigger and more valuable fish, right? That's like a good example of one type of gameplay loop. And like Stardew is kind of that farming, and you go to the mines to collect resources to upgrade your farming stuff. You go fishing, that it's very satisfying. You're customizing your farm. It just feels from what I've read, it sounds like Tales of the Shire doesn't really do anything very well. It has a bunch of little mini games, but they're all like worse than what other games have already done. And the cooking and friendship stuff is also like, it's the most interesting part of the game. It's the most unique part of the game. But even then, I've heard people like there's reviews about how it's kind of annoying that the hobbits are the hobbits are get really upset if you don't invite them over for dinner. But the hobbits, nobody invites you over for dinner. So I was like, wait, what the heck? You know, you're the only one that hosts these dinner parties for people, and they never invite you over, but they still have the gumption to get angry at you that you aren't constantly cooking for them. Like, man. And JS, you've been playing Cyberpunk 2777. Yeah, I've heard that it's quite good now. Like it launched with lots of bugs, but they updated it and it's a lot more fun. I'd be interested in playing that. There's so many games I have on my list. I really want to play Grand Theft Auto 5. I feel like I missed the boat on that one. And that would be a lot of fun to get into. I don't know if I'd play it on stream. It might be a bit too adult, a bit too mature. But but it could be a fun one I could play off stream maybe. But again, I have to figure out how I would play it because I can't play it on Mac, so I'd have to. But I have been thinking about maybe building a PC and playing it there. But I do, and then like I mean, there's Grand Theft Auto 6 that's coming out next year. You know, that could be kind of fun to play. I mean, Yuha, I do sometimes get sucked in on hype trains. All right. I will admit, hand to my heart, I got sucked in on the Tears of the Kingdom hype train, and I paid for it. Okay? I mean, well, to be fair, Tears of the Kingdom is actually a good game, despite its drawbacks. It's really just not a great game because I don't feel like it improved on Breath of the Wild. Though, interestingly, I did initially think it was better. When I first started playing the game, I actually got totally sucked into the gameplay, and I was so excited to explore the game, going around. I don't know if you remember the glee I had while I was running around the Sky Island, the Great Sky Island, you know, but then once I got down to the surface, then things kind of got I don't know, it just, yeah, I didn't enjoy it. It got kind of grindy and the story was really bad, but it had some good ideas and it was playable, you know, it was playable. Are we going to try some more Finnish today, Lorelei? We are. We are. I'm getting there. And Hamu, welcome in. Nice to see you. I don't know if I've seen your screen name before. If not, welcome to the chat. How is my game project going? Am I going to Assembly this weekend? I don't know what Assembly is. I assume is this like a game developers conference. I haven't really looked into attending things, but the game project is coming along slowly but surely when I have time to work on it. And my problem also is that I will work on something and get it to like 80% done, but it still has some important tweaks, especially like the art. I'm working mostly on the art still. And then like I have a bunch of stuff that I haven't posted to my Dogwood Instagram, just because I feel like, what is it? It's like the effort. It's so easy to start working on something else rather than to spend the last bit of effort to take it from 80% to done, and then I can post it. But yeah, I did post recently an update to the art style. The dogs, I feel like I liked the original, but I feel like I've discovered a more, I don't know, a more recognizable and maybe a better art style that communicates the aspects of the dog a little bit better, but still is true to that pixel art look and feel that I want. So yeah, I've been working on making the animations, like the running animations for the dog. That's been pretty fun. It just takes a lot of time to make art. A lot. And I've been working a bit on the environments, but I mean, I say environments, but like just making some grass textures, making like some flowers and like plants that I want in the game. Some trees, obviously. It's going to be a forest. I want it to feel. That's another thing is I want to make the trees like I want maybe not all trees, but some of the trees are going to be like really big, like huge freaking trees, like ancient behemoth trees, that have lived for like thousands of years. And you can just feel the weight of their wisdom in the earth. Yeah, I've got some cool plans. I got some cool plans for it. The dogs also, they live in the trees. Like like these big tree trunks, they hollow out and turn it kind of into like a kind of a Hobbit inspired little dugout, a little hole. So they have like round doors and round windows, but they're in the trees. And I think there could be some good, I don't know. There's a lot of character to it that I like. And I definitely want it to be customizable so that like you can sort of build your own home, kind of like in The Sims. Maybe not that customizable. Like you might only be able to change the interior and a little bit of the exterior. I don't know. It just depends. But yeah, I'm still working on that stuff. Thanks for asking about that. um, What? Let's not pressure Tyler, or he might crack and combine with the heat outside melt. Well, I do my thing, all right? Some days I'm more focused. Other days I'm just rambling. I don't mind if you guys express what you want. But I'm also just gonna do my thing as well. There is a seminar about pixel art. I need to look up some of this stuff. What's it called? Assembly. I'll look up. It probably would be good for me to start attending some of these things. But yeah, I don't know. I'm so used to doing my own thing. I'm not good at networking or like attending events. Like it doesn't really cross my mind to research this stuff. I just work on the game, I just want to make the art and make the game. I don't really think about the more practical stuff of like, yeah, the networking side. But yeah, thanks for mentioning that, Hamu. I'll take a look. Okay. Now I'm gonna get back to it because I've got my Finnish, like nerdy Finnish teacher followers who have to give me a hard time. They don't want me to have any fun on stream. they You know what? I just want to have fun. It's like this is a Friday at the end. At the end of the year, it's like the last week of school. All exams are done, and it's just like teachers are having parties. Man, being a kid was so freaking dope. Like, I I need that. I need that level of festiveness. Okay. We need to incorporate that more in like workplaces where like just one week you go to work but you just hang out and play games, all right? And you get recess and you play a game of football. There's a playground. Can you imagine a bunch of like 50-year-olds on a playground together? Lorelai, you're just cranky and melting. Okay, well, that's fair enough. We're all cranky from the heat. It's very much not Friday. Well, I'm I it might not you can take me out of the Friday, but you can't take the Friday out of me. Okay, I'm bringing the Friday energy. All right. Mahan muto vähene. Okay, also being ignored. Lorelai, I didn't mean to ignore you. I legit just didn't see or skipped over. I don't know. I don't know. Subconsciously, all right. My subconscious psyche was protecting me from you, Lorelai. But this has to okay, this has to do with immigrants, right? Of some does Mahan Muto, does this just mean immigration? Immigration is lessening. I think I was just talking about this a little bit. Because we were talking about would my Texas friends ever want to move to Finland? I mean, there are definitely like things about Finland that are great, you know. Like for example, yeah, if you it's funny because like a lot of the things that my friends and family would benefit from if they moved here, I don't benefit from. Like if you have a family with small kids, like the fact that daycare is pretty much provided for, or like if you do have to pay for it, it's usually quite a small fee. Whereas in Texas, if I remember, to send like one kid to daycare is like $3,000 a month or something. It's like it's really expensive. It's like your full-time salary, you know? Jeez. But anyways, yeah, this means it is lessening. Let's just double check. Immigration is decreasing. Seuraavaksi uutinen maahanmuutosta. The following piece of news about immigration. Maahanmuutto on vähentynyt Suomessa. Immigration, excuse me. I had a little burp there. I'm like such an old man over here, just burping my words out. Immigration has lessened in Finland. Suomeen tulee hakemuksia turvapaikkasta tai työluvasta aiempaa vähemmän. To Finland are coming applications. I don't know. I don't remember what turva means, but it's like for paikka is a place or a location. Does this mean maybe like asylum or refugee? Like there's applications for, I'm just going to assume for asylum or for work. Is this this means like work permit. Because lupa means permission. I remember that. Because I think we said like asulupa, which means like permission to dress a certain way. We made that word up like years ago and it's stuck in my brain. But yeah. And then aiempaa vähemmän. Does this mean it is less than before? All right, I have a bunch of questions about the grammar. But yeah, immigration has decreased in Finland. There are fewer applications for asylum. I was right with asylum. Or work permits coming to Finland than before. Ristipistotyö in English. Too lazy to check it yourself. The safety place, yes. Yeah, asylum. Though it's like asylum, I feel like that also has like a negative connotation in English when referring to like we say insane asylum. Like if you got committed to an insane asylum, it would not that would not necessarily be a safe place for you. Not that being outside the asylum would be safe either, but at least in like I don't know, older times, they had a much different idea of how to treat mental illnesses, and it wasn't always very helpful or humane. Suomeen on entistä vaikeampi muuttaa ulkomailta, koska hallitus on tiukentanut maahanmuuton sääntöjä. Santa means a rule, so something about the rules. How do you guys speak this language again? I feel like every stream I come to a sentence and I'm just like, how do you just understand stuff? Jeez. But it's something about like to Finland, something more difficult. So it's like more difficult to move from abroad. I was saying this earlier as well without even realizing it was in the news. Because the government has tightened tiukentanut. You know, I know that word, okay? I'm proud of myself. I know these words because I've practiced. But yeah, the government has tightened immigration rules. Myös Suomen työtilanne on huono. Also, Finland's work or job economy, job market situation is bad. Tilanne is a situation. It is becoming increasingly difficult. That's what I kind of messed up. Entistä vaikeampi. That means increasingly difficult to move to Finland from abroad because the government has tightened immigration rules. The job situation in Finland is also poor. Yeah, the job situation. It's fun to do cross-stitching for a change. First you thought of a carpet, but the bottom isn't big enough, so a painting it will be. A painting? Or do you mean like a wall hanging? Isn't that a thing like in Finnish that you'll call, like the word that you use to describe like anything that you can hang on the wall, you call a painting? Whereas a painting, to me, is something that is actually made with paint, right? Yeah. Yeah, taulu, right? So I assume Akachuia that you're referring to the cross stitch. You're not painting on the cross stitch, right? You're just gonna hang it up on the wall. Asiantuntija sanoo, että ulkomailta voi olla vaikeaa saada työntekijöitä Suomeen. Yeah, okay, JS, yeah. Maalaus is painting. Like a specific painting. But yeah, I remember now. Taulu, you guys told me is like kind of anything that you can hang on the wall as like an art object, right? You have a pillow with the Winnie the Pooh cross stitch on the front. Classic. What the heck is it? What am I trying to translate here? All right. See, like, it doesn't, okay, asiantuntija, it's sort of like a subject matter expert, but I guess we would just say like experts. Well, it has the J. Wait, is that singular or plural? I think it's singular, right? It's just, yeah, it's just the singular. The IJ is tricking me into thinking it's plural. Maybe it is plural. You guys let me know. But it's like the expert or researcher, I guess, I don't know, says that ulkomailta voi olla vaikeaa. From abroad or from international can be difficult to get like työntekijä is an employee, right? To get employees to Finland. But it's difficult for who? Is it difficult for the employees to get to Finland from abroad, or is it difficult to recruit employees to Finland from abroad? I guess it could be both, but maybe the grammar is clear. The expert, singular, says that it can be difficult to get workers from abroad to Finland. Maahanmuutto on vähentynyt Suomessa. Yeah, immigration is lessening in Finland, or sorry, is lessening. It has lessened. It has reduced. Oh, your mom made that cross stitch 20-ish years ago. Wow. It is kind of crazy. 20 years sounds like a long time, but then when you look at it, it's like, that was only 2004. I mean, I was like just I was still a teenager, but like, man, that's hard to believe that I'm getting that old. Can we also just pause to appreciate the cultural moment that was the early 2000s? All right. Like, I mean, late 90s, early 2000s, the best. We had the Star Wars prequel trilogy coming out, and I was too young to have the critical apparatus to not enjoy the movies. Okay? Like, I loved episode 1, and I want to rewatch it because I think that I've come full circle, and I might actually enjoy episode 1 again if I rewatched it and be my favorite of all the Star Wars. And then we had freaking Lord of the Rings, just amazing. Obviously, greatest movie trilogy ever. Fellowship of the Ring, hands down, best movie ever made. I'll stand by that. Then we also had the Pirates of the Caribbean movies coming out. Like, I just recently rewatched The Curse of the Black Pearl, and it's so fun. Like, the music is so fun, and like the story just is happening in such a nice way. And I like that the plot has enough like misdirection and like twists and turns, even though the end is kind of lame. Like, they kind of just let Jack Sparrow get away, and it was like, what that doesn't really make sense with anything that's happened so far, but okay, I guess they needed to end the movie on a positive emotional note or something, right? Whatever. But then we also had all the Pixar movies. I also, last weekend, I rewatched The Incredibles. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Also one of the greatest movies of all time. Like, it is so good. The music is so good. It's got that like super fun jazzy superhero feel to it. Like, it's the best superhero movie ever made by far. And it's like a family movie. Like, the story of the family is so good. And the moment when they're in the plane, like the Elastigirl, the mom, is bringing the kids in the, well, she didn't mean to bring the kids. The kids snuck on the plane, and they're flying because she's going to try and figure out what happened to her husband, Mr. Incredible. And then like the missiles are launched in the plane, and she's like yelling to her daughter to put a force field around the plane because that's her superpower, but they've been taught not to use their superpowers, so she's hesitating. She doesn't know what to do. It's like, it's super intense. It's like, man, Pixar doesn't have guts anymore. They used to make these movies that were like harrowing, you know? And now that's like, they're just making these like really bland movies about like preteens having feelings, and it's like, I mean, I guess it's a story. It's just not a good one. You know, like Toy Story, like, it was like life and death for these toys, you know? It's like Woody literally like tries to murder Buzz. Like, it's yeah, they went hard with those early movies. It was really good. But yeah, those years were like the best years to go see movies in the theater. And that's also my bias because I was a kid, and so going to the movie theater was like so exciting and so fun. I saw the Fellowship of the Ring 4 times in movie theaters when it came out. That's how engrossed I was. I loved it. Millennial misery. And immigrants still get higher wages here than in their home countries. Well, I mean, I'd hope that, you know, people are seeking a better life. But time to move on, T. Wait, what? What? Come on. Let me have my millennial moment, okay? They don't make movies like they used to, is all I'm saying. All right, let's do this last thing. Let's try to. Hold on. Hydration break. We need it. Yeah, the price of just getting a movie ticket now is crazy. Like back when I was in high school and in college, I remember I would go to the matinee. I don't know if that's a thing here in Finland, but at least the movie theaters where I grew up, you could go see a movie for like $5 if you went in the middle of the day at like 2 p.m. You know, because they would be showing these films, but like very few people would go at that time because most people are at work. But in the summer, when you're just like a teenager, that's like the perfect thing to do in the afternoon. I remember I'd meet up with one of my friends from school who lived in my neighborhood and who was also on the cross country team. And he was a huge film nerd. He had seen way more films than I had, and introduced me to a lot. And we would go see movies in the pretty much every movie that came out that summer we saw in theaters. We'd go and we would just do back to back double features. We would first go to the gas station and we would get ices. And I've ranted about how the icy is the platonic form of frozen sugary beverages. Like it is the best of the best. You guys don't know what you're missing out here in Finland. I could so go for an icy right now with this heat wave. Like they are not slushies. They imagine a slushy if it tasted a bajillion times better. And then you have an icy. And we would go to the gas station and get the ices, and then I would sneak the icy into the movie theater. Because if you buy the icy at the theater, it costs like $7. It costs more to buy a drink at the movie theater than to get the ticket. And so it was some harmless Hobbit based burglary, some Hobbit subterfuge. Okay, I was breaking the rules a little bit. I would sneak my own icy into the movie theater. That was crazy. But yeah. Oh, anyways, okay. Nuoret käyvät taas tanssilavoilla. Something about the youth are visiting again. Is this the dance? Why do I want to say it's like a floor? Or is it something else? It is the dance floor. Lava. I don't know. But I also feel like lava is like a bin, like a big, where you would put a bunch of trash, like the raska lava, you know? Whatever. Or does it mean like a dance hall? But I guess I mean I trust Google probably knows the best. Lopuksi uutinen tanssilavoista. So the first piece of news is about the dance floors. Or maybe is it a dance club? I don't know. Suomessa tanssilavat ovat taas suosittuja. In Finland, dance floors are again popular. Tanssilavoille tulee myös nuoria ihmisiä. To the dance floors come many young people. Ennen tanssilavoilla kävi enemmän vanhempia ihmisiä. Before to the dance floor came more older people. Before. Wait, enemmän. This means more, right? You think those big 24 beer Lonkero cider packs are called lava? If you got 5 Finnish mark as a weekly pocket money, you felt so rich. Nowadays, kids will give you a long face if you don't have anything else than €5 to give on Palm Sunday. You know? Inflation. Lavon Thauthi is typhoid fever. Wait, did we? I'll take a quick. Finally, news about dance floors. I like this translation. Like, finally, news about dance floors. We've been waiting months, years for an update on the dance floor situation. Finally, we've received the news that we've needed. Yeah, dance floors are popular again. In the past, it was more older people who went to the dance floors. Okay. I guess it's like, it's just, it sounds weird when you translate it literally this way. It was more older people who went. I think a more natural way of saying it is you would say, like, in the past, it was mostly old people. It was mostly older people who went. The subtle politeness of referring to someone as older, but not old, right? They're older in a relative sense, but they're still young. On the countryside with men asking women to dance and the women asking men to dance and then repeating. Wait, what is this? Is this what happens in the countryside, Lorelai? At the dance floor? Oh, and okay, Tansilava is a certain type of dance floor. Okay. Or dance hall. They danced there when they were young, and young people haven't liked those places. Like traditional dance halls. Okay, yeah. I feel like I've heard that. Like traditional dancing is making a comeback among young people. Like it's becoming cool again to do all the old dances. Nuoret tulevat nyt tanssilavoille, koska he pitävät uudesta tanssimusiikista. So the youth are coming now to the dance hall because they like the new dance music. Esimerkiksi komiat yhtye on suosittu esiintyjä tanssilavoilla. For example, I assume this is a group? A musical group? This musical group is popular, especially in dance halls or dance floors, whatever. Se soittaa tanssimusiikkia uudella tavalla. It plays dance music new tavalla. I've seen this word before. Does it mean like together? I don't know. We'll have to look at it later. Komiat yhtyeen rumpaali Eero Numella. The group. Who is I guess this is one type of musician or performer, like whatever role that this guy has. Eero Numella. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah, they like the new dance music. For example, the band Komiat is a popular performer on dance stages. They play dance music in a new way. Okay, the drummer. They play dance music in a new way. Okay, tavalla. That's what it was. That's what it meant. Oh wait, I don't want to read the English yet. Sorry, I was reading chat for a second. Now I'm hopping back. So Eero Nummela says, Vaik täällä Ronnin lavalla koko kesän tai viime kesän on näyttänyt siltä, että ihmiset ovat upeasti löytäneet tanssilavakulttuurin hienouden. Myös semmoset, jotka ei ole koskaan käynyt. Like, what? I mean, it's like, okay, something about um, all summer or last summer has appeared or has seen. I think it's more like it has seemed so that people are surprised. Wait, upeasti. Why do I think that means something like surprised or excited or something? To have found dance floor culture, hieno means good, right? So hienouden, they find the culture good. Also, whatever this is, which is not anyway or not ever käynyt, visited. What? All right, well, all right, let's see what Google can do with it. Yeah, even here on Ron's stage, all summer or last summer, it has seemed like people have wonderfully discovered the beauty of dance stage culture. Wow, I didn't quite get that. Discovered? Yeah, I did say lautane. It was like found. Dance stage culture. The beauty, I said good. They found it to be good. But it's like they found the goodness, the beauty of dance stage culture. And then it goes on, even some who have never been there. You have no idea what the dance music with a new way means or sounds, what kind of music? Well, maybe we can play the video and we'll listen. You did folk dancing as a child and loved it. You love so much to learn middle-age dances. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, it's more puhekieli-ish. Yeah. All right, actually, I think that's a good idea. Let's we got time. Hopefully it's not too loud for you guys. I'll turn down a little bit. I don't know.
Nyt uutisia helpolla suomen kielellä. Hyvää päivää.
Can you see okay?
Ensin uutinen palestiinalaisista Lähi-idässä. Palestiinalaisten pääministeri vaatii, että äärijärjestö Hamas luopuu vallasta Gazassa. Pääministeri Mohammad Mustafa sanoo, että Hamasta Gane on huono.
Oh yeah, the immigration stuff. Oh yeah.
Suomessa.
Yeah. Let's get to the important news.
Lopuksi uutinen tanssilavoista. Suomessa tanssilavat ovat taas suosittuja. Tanssilavoille tulee myös nuoria ihmisiä. Ennen tanssilavoilla kävi enemmän vanhempia ihmisiä. Nuoret tulevat nyt tanssilavoille, koska he pitävät uudesta tanssimusiikista. Esimerkiksi Komiat-yhtye on suosittu esiintyjä tanssilavoilla. Se soittaa tanssimusiikkia uudella tavalla. Komiat-yhtyeen rumpali Eero Nummela.
Vaikka tämä Rönnin lavalla tai koko kesän ja viime kesä on näyttänyt siltä, että ihmiset on tosi upeasti löytänyt sen tanssilavakulttuurin hienouden. Myös semmoiset, jotka ei ole koskaan käynyt.
Suomessa tanssilavat ovat taas suosittuja.
There you go.
Vielä sääennuste.
Okay, hold on a second. I did not see people dancing. Where was the dancing? They're just standing there. This is like the most Finnish dance of all time. Get a bunch of Finnish people, and this is them dancing, just standing. And I don't know. Maybe the I don't know the sense is a bit different. And I know Finnish people do lots of dancing actually. Like the tango stuff is pretty crazy. Yeah, so many people dancing in that video. LOL, JS. Yeah, you. It's like what? Didn't even clarify what kind of music they played. Yeah, you could only just kind of make out a little bit in the background what it sounded like, but they didn't actually feature the music like at all. Oh, towards the end there was a little clip of the dancing. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, here.
Nummela.
Vaikka tää Rönnin lavalla tai koko kesän ja viime
Yeah,
kesän.
wait, hold on. This looks like it's a totally different place from where they were performing music.
Näyttänyt siltä, että ihmiset on tosi upeasti löytänyt sen.
Or like a different time of day with a different like band or something. I don't know.
Selvakulttuurin hienouden. Myös semmoiset, jotka ei ole koskaan käynyt.
Suomessa tanssilavat ovat taas suosittuja.
Suosittuja. Yeah. All right. Yeah, and that's this. In Finland, dance floors are again popular. Yeah, 3 seconds of dancing. They're like, the dancing is too complicated for the foreigners to understand. The grammar with which our dancing takes place in Finland is just so complex. You wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even understand the movements. We dance backwards in Finnish. Yeah, the true fans were on the front row, and the dancing enthusiasts kept dancing. But yeah, actually, I'm gonna wrap up stream here a few minutes early. I'm so tired and I'm so overheated. I think it's okay. We can call the lesson early. We can all go home and rest and chill. But yeah, I will be back actually. Let's see. I want to do more Stardew streams. So if I can, I'm going to try and do another Stardew stream tomorrow. But if not, then Thursday for sure we'll do it. Unless we have a crazy thunderstorm. You never know. The Finnish weather just gaslighting me into thinking that there's going to be rain. And then we get like a 1 millimeter of drizzle. And it's like, oh yeah, that was a thunderstorm. Come on. Yeah, we're all at home already. But yeah, I'll look up the I don't know, this dance stuff maybe a little bit more on my own, because it does sound kind of interesting, so I might Google it after the stream. But yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, thank you all for joining the stream and for entertaining my rambles, my reminiscing on growing up in Colorado and Mississippi, and then going to the movies during the best years. Like there was no better time to be a teenager going to the movies than the early 2000s. Like it was just amazing. Oh yeah, maybe take a cool shower. That's a good idea. Thank you all. I appreciate it. And yeah, we will be back. I mean, next Tuesday we'll do another Learn Finnish with me. And also, I forgot to mention this. I can't believe it, but I had posted to my YouTube community, whatever, a post asking if people wanted to do the tours, because I thought it could be a fun way to like interact with you guys, and then and give tours of Central Helsinki. So I haven't 100% like decided or like set everything up, but I have been working on putting together some like tours, like the ideas for where I could take people, through somewhere around the city center. So if you're interested in that, be on the lookout. I received a lot of positive responses. A lot of people would be interested in doing like a 2 to 3 hour tour. It'd be fun. You can, if you're maybe you live far away in Finland, you just got to make a pilgrimage. You got to make your pilgrimage to come do a Sunday afternoon tour with me. It'd be a lot of fun. It'd be fun to meet some of you guys, and also, what is that? I don't know. To show you some of my favorite parts of Helsinki. So it's an idea, and I think it's probably worth pursuing. So I just need a little more time to kind of put together what I'm actually going to offer, and then I'll announce it probably on the community side. I don't know. I should probably make a video, right? Like talking about some of the buildings or something. I don't know. I don't want to put too much pressure on it, but I'll let you guys know. So just stay posted if that's something that you're interested in. English Wiki calls it barn dance. Now that sounds like such a redneck thing. That sounds like something they do out in Kentucky, where they got, there's just the railroad and the barn dance. What can we do? What do we do? Or we can go jump on the hay bales, Jethro, or we can go to the barn dance. But yeah. And yes, for video tours, Lorelai. Oh, JS, you want me to come to do a Tampere tour? That would be pretty hilarious what if I went to your town and gave you a tour of your own town? Would that be a little presumptuous? Like I do a tour of Finland, giving tours to locals in their own hometown. I feel like that's a recipe for disaster. I would mix things up and they'd be like, oh, that happened. No, you're talking, that happened in Pori. That's not us. God forbid you mistake a Finnish person for being Porilainen. They'll... Anyways, yeah, hope you guys have a good rest of your week, and I hope to see you in more live streams. Thanks for joining. Hang in there with the heat. It's crazy, but yeah, we'll be back. Okay, goodbye, guys.